Hi everyone, it's me, Yvonne Emile Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as silvermooncounseling.org. Silvermooncounseling.org. I have to throw that plug in there. Anyhow, I am here because we've got some really good astrological stuff going on and I wanted to share it with you. So I'm recording a few videos back to back to back to give you an idea of how all of this energy might be playing out for you. But in the process of doing this, I was trying to choose a crystal that would help me express the kind of feeling that I'm getting from this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction in Pisces, okay? And the crystal that I chose was this beautiful Selenite crystal. I'm gonna try to put it in front of my face, right? Look how beautiful this is. This is super ethereal. So selenite or selenite, you know, depending on how you pronounce it, is supposed to be a very high vibrational crystal. It's supposed to be the crystal of the angels and connecting to the ethers. Look at this piece. I keep this one by on my nightstand because it's so beautiful. It's supposed to be higher vibrational, connecting to the different dimensions, right? And it's very ethereal, and you're going to hear me say that quite a bit as far as, you know, this video goes, because this is the energy that we're going to be working with. And there's one more piece here. And I mean, what witchy gal would not have a selenite wand? I love this one. Look how cool this is. So anyhow, so this is the energy that we're working with. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you the chart so you have an idea of what I'm referring to. And then I will give you, you know, some insight on how this energy is potentially manifesting for you, what it means. So I cast this chart today, earlier, a few hours ago, but this is the energy that we are talking about right here. Okay, this is Pisces energy, and we're going to have the Jupiter and then Neptune conjunction, and it's sextiling beautifully with Pluto and Capricorn. Now, usually I don't say beautiful and Pluto in the same sentence because, you know, Pluto is just Pluto, the Lord of the underworld. But I think in this case, it's manifesting in a more positive way. So, okay, so let's talk about this energy, and we're going to start off with Pisces. So Pisces is mutable water. Okay, I've always described Pisces as, you know, being by the lake, like lake water. You're just kind of sitting there, big lake, and then the lake is really still, the water's really still, and there's this grace and this elegance to it. And then all of a sudden here comes this wind, right? And this wind or this storm comes along, and this water just starts to move in different directions, right, on the lake. The water doesn't move until, you know, the air comes along and moves it. And this is Piscean energy. Piscean energy is highly emotional, okay? And on a higher vibration, this Pisces energy is spiritual, it's psychic. Doesn't mean it's the only psychic sign. It's just more in tune to the ether, so to speak. It's imaginative, it's creative, it's the daydreamers. And there's an altruistic compassion, kindness, and friendliness that happens with this Piscean energy. On a lower vibration, okay, all of this emotional movement can cause them to be sensitive, moody, even get suddenly angry. Okay, it's not a fire sign, it's a water sign, but their inability to regulate emotion can make them feel, you know, emotionally dysregulated. So they're the ones that tend, besides Virgo, they're the ones that tend to have, and Gemini, they're the ones that tend to have more of an anxious experience, right? I mean, think about all this water movement, all of these emotions not being able to regulate it. It can affect the nervous system, okay? And that's one of the reasons why Piscean energy is known as the daydreamers, the escapists, because sometimes they struggle so much with emotionally regulating that it becomes overwhelming for them and they rather just tap out, okay? And so they're the ones that, you know, we consider like the potheads or the partiers or the, you know, they sleep all day, okay? There's that escapist quality to it, and that's on a lower vibration. So this Piscean energy is a beautiful etheric energy, but it does struggle regulating emotionally. Now, you know, what does this mean with Jupiter and Neptune? So Jupiter is, I feel like the teacher again with this. I used to teach a long time ago. Anyhow, my laser pointer. Anyways, so this Jupiter energy is the guru, it's the teacher, it's the leader, it wants knowledge, it's seeking expansion. I mean, what do we do when we learn? We expand, right? And so the energy of Jupiter is an expansion type of energy. It's growth, it's for self-betterment, it's constantly in seeking to improve. There's an enthusiastic quality that happens. And Jupiter owns Pisces, so it does really well in Pisces. And so on a higher vibration, this essence of expanding and growth and living consciously is really the energy of Jupiter. Now, everything I'm sharing is from a more spiritual point of view, okay? On a lower vibration, we have this Jupiter energy that can become overindulgent, right? Too much of something is not always a good thing. It can become ego-centric, right? It's kind of like the guru that starts off wanting to do things for the people and teach the people, and then all of a sudden it becomes about his ego. Okay, so that kind of energy can also happen with Jupiter. There's an expansive quality, and expansiveness is about being aware of what we are expanding. Is it us and self-betterment, or is it for our ego purposes? Okay, so on a lower vibration, too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Now we have this Neptunian energy, and Neptune does really well in Pisces too. And Neptune is fog. I mean, have you ever tried to contain fog? Like, you can't, right? And so Neptune is a transcendent energy. It transcends the physical reality. It is beyond the physical reality. And from an astrological point of view, we have Jupiter, Saturn, and then Uranus, Neptune, right? But Jupiter is within the construct of Saturn. So it can only expand as far as Saturn lets it expand. But Neptune is beyond the bounds of Saturn. And so there's a transcendent quality. There's an interdimensional quality that happens with Neptune. There are no bounds or boundaries for Neptune. So on a higher vibration, this Neptune energy is highly spiritual, interdimensional, super creative. There's an altruistic energy, and that's why it's highly connected to this Piscean energy. And it's about moving beyond the limits of reality. On a lower vibration, though, yeah, it can become delusional, it can become unrealistic, it can become illusion, it can become fog, and then we can't see things clearly. And once we move beyond the bounds of the physical experience and we lose touch with the physical experience, now we become deluded. Now we have, issues of grandeur and so forth, right? So these are the energies that we're working with now. And that's why I said selenite is, for me, the perfect crystal to describe this kind of energy. So what does this mean, right? Well, collectively, when Jupiter and Neptune come together every 13 years, okay, it's an amazing thing, but they only come together in Pisces every 166 years, okay? And so now we have this altruistic, highly spiritual energy enhanced by this expansion and growth of Jupiter and this transcendent quality. So living consciously is really what I feel is we're being asked to do. We're being asked to transcend beyond our own physical limitations, to move beyond the 3D reality that says this is the only thing that you can do and you're bound by this experience. There's so much more than that, right? Living consciously is about being in tune with your ego, knowing how to expand it when it's working in your favor, and knowing when it's not and when you're overindulging in your ego. It's about transcending the limits that we create for ourselves. And trust me, I've been really working with this, okay, since December, about these limits that I've created for myself. Now, what I've seen in charts, individual charts, is that it just kind of depends on where this energy is manifesting for each individual. For example, in my chart, it's manifesting in the 11th house of goals and dreams and large groups of people and large groups of friends and logistics, right? So right now, I'm trying to start on this project and I cannot move beyond like the immediacy of here. I can't get a vision for the future because this energy is making it very, very, very foggy. And that growth and expectation of this Jupiter energy, along with the Neptune, I just can't, right? Some of my friends are experiencing it in the 7th house in their relationships. My daughter's experiencing in the 9th house of spirituality and growth, and it's manifesting different for her. She's growing, she's wanting to tap into more of that spiritual altruistic energy. This is a really good experience for her, unlike me, where I'm like, I can't see anything. Okay. Some people are experiencing in the 1st, and so they're not able to get a good idea of themselves or of their journey, right? So it just kind of depends on where it falls. But anyhow, my point is that this ethereal energy is asking us whether it's making it difficult for you to see beyond what's here and now, like it is for me, or it's allowing you to expand and grow. What it's doing is that it's really wanting us to tap into that really deep subconscious stuff, okay? Because when we can tap into that subconscious energy, we can transcend what we believe we have created for ourselves as far as boundaries and expectations and limits. And if we live by limits all of the time, then we're not expanding and growing. And I know I'm going to get pushback from some of you when you hear me say that, because that's the only thing I've been doing the last month and a half is living in my boundaries. But now I am being pushed, you know, partly by Jupiter and Neptune, to move beyond this. And so that's what I'm asking for you to do. Where do you need to move beyond your limits? Where do you need to grow? Where do you need to find direction? Where do you maybe feel like you're being delusional and you need to kind of, you know, rein that part in? Where are you not being realistic about your experience? So, yep, that's it. That is what this energy, selenite energy, is making us, you know, manifest for us. And we know right now that there's a lot of people on social media and in the world that are pretty much delusional. Okay, they're having a hard time with reality and they're behaving that way, right? Yeah, this is the energy that we're dealing with right now. If you want to learn more about this energy and how it's affecting you, reach out. If you want to learn more about astrology, if you want to learn more about crystals or how to use a wand, reach out. Okay. If you're seeking counseling for whatever reason, okay, transpersonal counseling or mental health counseling, reach out. I'm also a licensed professional counselor and a professional astrologer, in case I hadn't mentioned that. Wait, I think I have. All right, everyone, take care, blessed be, and April 12th. April 12th is the conjunction. I don't know if I said that already. Like my ADHD kicks in and I just don't know if I said that. April 12th is the exact conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. All right, everyone, take care. Adios.